So let me add a short addendum to the third part of Lecture 8. Just want to add sort of a little bit of extra color and details around this kind of high-level theorem we concluded the last video with before we move on to the fourth part of Lecture 8 and talk about typical properties of random leader sequences. So the plan, remember, is we've observed that if leader sequences are unbalanced, if you have long windows where Byzantine leaders significantly outnumber honest leaders, you've got problems. That's going to be an obstruction to all of the kinds of consensus properties we generally want, consistency, liveness, and so on. And so the hope is that there's some kind of converse, that sort of lack of balance is the only obstruction to getting everything we want. In other words, that having a balanced leader sequence is sufficient to get all of the properties that we want. And so this theorem here on the bottom of the slide, that's kind of exactly what it asserts. As long as you've got a balanced leader sequence, all kinds of good stuff happen. Now, it's starting in the fifth video of this lecture, we're going to start delving into the proofs. And as we'll see, there's actually a little bit more nuance to the exact statements we're going to show. So just for those of you that are actually going to skip those proofs, I just want to make sure you have sort of a slightly more accurate understanding of exactly how the rest of this lecture is going to go. So the first of these properties, the common prefix property, that's the one we're going to prove in the fifth video of Lecture 8. That's the one that says all longest chains agree, except possibly on their last k blocks. In other words, all longest chains share a sort of very long common prefix of all but the last k blocks. And in that fifth video, we are going to prove formally the common prefix property under the assumption that the leader sequence is balanced, which again we know is a necessary condition, and under the 5 assumptions that we laid out sort of in the second video of Lecture 8. So remember, we had A1 through A5. But actually, that proof we're going to do in the fifth video, we're going to use the stronger form of assumption A4. Let's call it A4 prime. So remember, assumption A4 just says that, while a leader may be able to propose any number of blocks, each of those blocks has to name as a predecessor some block that was created in some previous round. So you can't, for example, just sort of announce sort of a cycle of blocks all pointing to each other. That was assumption A4, which implies in particular that on any given chain, a given leader can only add one block to a given chain, though it may be able to add blocks across multiple chains. Now, as we've discussed, and as we'll see in Lecture 9, in the proof of work implementation of longest chain consensus, as made famous by Bitcoin, you actually have a stronger property that's true, which is that actually a leader, whether they're honest or Byzantine, they literally just cannot produce more than one block in the round that they're leader. They're really just stuck, producing at most one block. So that's a stronger assumption. It is, as we'll see, satisfied in the proof of work setting, and it's under that stronger version of assumption A4, along with balancedness of the leader sequence, that we're going to establish the common prefix property in the fifth video of this lecture. Now, that may disappoint some of you, right? I promised you earlier that assumptions A1 through A5, just sort of the weaker version of assumption A4, should already be enough to deduce all of the consistency and liveness properties that we want of longest chain consensus. But never fear, you can prove the common prefix property using the weaker assumption A4, the version of the assumption that's appropriate for the permissioned and proof of stake settings. You do, however, have to make a stronger assumption about how balanced the leader sequence is. So there's going to be some kind of balanced on steroids condition, where as long as the leader sequence satisfies that balancedness on steroids, then even under the weaker assumption A4, it will again be true that the common prefix property holds. And we're not really going to be cheating by making the stronger balanced on steroids assumption. And the reason being is that because, if you randomly chosen leaders, okay, we're only going to prove in the next video, the fourth video, that they satisfy with high probability the basic balancedness condition that we're focusing on. But a more sophisticated probabilistic analysis actually shows that random leader sequences also, with high probability, satisfy the balancedness on steroids condition. So given that random leaders give you the stronger balancedness assumption, and given that coupled with assumption A4 allows you to prove the common prefix property, we are actually going to get all of the consistency and liveness properties we want for longest chain consensus for all of the scenarios we've talked about. Permission, proof of work, proof of stake, whatever. That alternative proof of the common prefix property that uses the weaker assumption A4, but then the stronger balanced assumption to compensate, that's kind of harder mathematically to prove. It would be sort of a nice result to prove in a more advanced course. It's a little far afield for us here. So we'll just be content in that 5th video to show that the common prefix property holds in the proof of work setting. So in other words, assuming the Byzantine leaders can only produce one block in a given round, and assuming just the more minor, just the mild balancedness assumption on the leader sequence. So that's the bad news, if you want to call it that. Sort of the situation around the common prefix property isn't quite as clean as we might have hoped. It would have been great if just under the weak balancedness condition and under sort of the weak assumption A4, we had the common prefix property. That's actually not true, but it's sort of fine, right? Under the proof of work setting, we can get away with the simple balancedness condition. In the proof of stake and permissioned settings, where we have the weaker assumption A4, we just need sort of a stronger property that random leader sequences almost always have. The good news is that's actually the only property where the subtlety is going to exist. So when we talk about finality, that'll be in the 6th video. In lecture 8, we will see there that finality literally just reduces to the common prefix property. So once you've established the common prefix property for whatever reason, then you will sort of get finality as an automatic consequence. So no additional nuances there. And then when we talk about liveness, actually the proofs are just going to work using the sort of weak balancedness condition that we've stated here and the weak version assumption A4, okay, which holds in all of the scenarios that we're interested in. We'll also then talk about a strengthening of liveness known as a chain quality guarantee that will also only need the basic balancedness condition and also just the basic assumptions A4. So now that my conscience is clear and we've talked about all of these subtleties, let's go ahead and sort of push forward. So in the next video, in the 4th video of lecture 8, we're going to think about randomly chosen leaders. We'll establish that randomly chosen leader sequences do indeed with high probability satisfy the basic balancedness property. We'll give a proof sketch of that. As I said, you can prove stronger things about the structure of random leader sequences, and that is useful for the other version of common prefix property. We won't be proving that. We'll just be proving the basic balancedness condition. And then we'll move on and have a video on each of common prefix and finality and liveness. So I'll see you there.